y'all, this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler, and you've arrived at lesson 5 in our series on tangled ribbons. In the end result, we're going to be heading towards the Tangled Ribbon Flower, and in today's lesson, we are going to hit two more simple, I say simple, they're simple for me, two simple ribboning techniques. The last two I'm going to show you. And once we have finished that, then we are going to do an exercise together in our sketch pads or on a blank piece of paper or whatever you have available. Even the back of your cereal box will work for this, okay? So today I want to show you how to do something that will allow you to change the direction of your ribbon, okay? So let me give you an example really quickly because I know some of you guys like to visualize what I'm talking about. Okay, that's a bit of an awkward example, but you see what I mean. This ribbon, whoops, I forgot something really important here. Okay, so this is what we're going to learn today, and that may not be the best. Needs to be, we'll work it out. Okay, so this is what we're going to learn to do today. So this is an example of what I want to teach you today. It's pretty advanced, but I don't want you to get overwhelmed. All right? This is going to start exactly like we did our backwards flap when we folded our ribbon over the backwards way, okay? Then we're going to draw in our ribbon shape, going over straightish at the top and then curving down. Now we can handle this in one of two ways. We can make this a short, no, that was wrong, okay? We can make this a short little curve, and then you'll bring that out there. Or we can do this down here so that you have a wider area. Now, this line here can be a little bit intuitive, meaning you've got to kind of figure it out. The way that this line will look or needs to look is going to depend on what type of a curve and how much room in here you're going to have. And if this is too difficult, let me offer you an alternative. Make this Make this very narrow here, okay? Then draw in your ribbon. And again, you can put this, it needs to be the same width as this. You can draw it in very close in, right like that, and then continue them out the other way. And that pretty much takes away the problem that you've got there, if that's easier for you. Now, if you want a big loop, just leave more room there. And again, you can make these thick or thin, right? And now here, something like that. You have to sort of get in the picture. So this is a little bit more difficult technique, but then of course once you've got this drawn in, you just extend that hollabah fashion from beneath. So let's do one right now together from the start. All right, slow down. So draw a narrow little loop there. Instead of a J, sort of bring it in, maybe like a lowercase j. Then decide on the width of your ribbon here and draw that in. This is exactly like the flap, the fold over in the back, okay? Exactly like that. Now, to make that work, you can handle this in so many ways, but this is the width that we want to go for, all right? So we can do that right here by making this tiny. And in this case, we don't have to worry about that other line, all right? And then we would continue that back out this way. Yeah? And in this way, we can turn our ribbons and have them do different things for us. Okay? Let's try this the other direction, see if I can do it. And again, the skinnier you make this, the less trouble you're going to have with this business in here. Okay? So that's entirely up to you whether or not you want to work with that. Right? This is exactly the same as our folded ribbon that we did in I don't know, it was the second lesson, I believe. Okay, so now imagine this is going to fold under. So in this example, let's do it this way. I think that would go more. Again, that's the problem with this. You got to be able to figure this out. Okay, so that's how you lefties would handle it. Let me draw a couple more of these that we've done before from the left-hand perspective, since I know I have you guys out there. Here's your J shape. All right, let's do the front one. Okay, come over straight towards the edge there, right? And then come up from the bottom. And that's it. I'm not as good at them from this direction. Remember, it's that straight top that makes the difference there. Like that. And then, so the backward one. It's pretty simple. Yeah. And let's do this one that we did today one more time in the small. And I'm going to do it backwards for you lefties, because I love you. This one's for you, Judy Morgan. And then I think I'll just, let's see, think this through. Something like that, okay? Do what you want, make it look how you want. It's entirely up to you. As always, I tend to do the most expedient thing, which is going to be this tiny one. And so if that's the way you want to handle it, just make you a tiny one there. Like that. Problem solved. Ta-da! Right? Okay, so for our project today, what I want to do is on this original tile, we are going to put our flower circle in a corner, and we're going to work with 3 tendrils of ribbons coming out from there, okay? So what I want you to do first is go ahead and draw in your borders. I'm going to go ahead and make my borders normal to, well, normal for me anyway. Just going to make them sort of straight. And of course, when I do the straight, it's better for me to dispense with the dots. It always works out better for me. All right. Okay. So what I want to do today is make a decent size partial orb in one corner. Like this. See if I can zoom. Right? And then from here, I want to come out and make 3 different ribbons, okay? And I want to try, we'll see, I want to try to interact with each other in some way. So, what I want to do first is on this first one, I'm going to put a curly cue, but make it sort of straight and come out, okay? And then I'm going to try to work the other 2 in and around that. let's see what happens. Okay, it'll be it'll be an adventure like always. So I'm going to start up here and bring this down and make my J shape and turn it into this sort of elongated spiral. Okay, so from here I'm going to bring that out like here and around my ends. Okay, so I'm keeping my width at this time fairly consistent. All right. So now on this next one, I'm going to try to turn with what we learned today and pass one underneath this. Okay, so let's see if I can do this. Let's just see. So I'm going to want this to come out here, so I'm going to want to turn this this way. Okay, I probably outsmarted myself a little bit with how I set that up. Once again, I encourage you, if you don't get these set the way that you want them, fix them. Go ahead, give yourself permission to fix them. Now, a lot of erasing is not going to be necessary on this for the lines, because I'm going to redraw them with an ink pen and then I'm going to tangle over them. So these pencil lines will get lost, but I want you to have your ribboning done in a way that you're happy with before you go forward. Okay? So from here, remember, I can choose to come in tight like this, or I can come out over here. And I think I'd like on this one to come out over here, simply because, although this would work coming around behind here. Let's just do that. I think it'll be simpler for me. Okay, so I'm not really pleased with this curve right here. So I'm going to look at this again, see how I can make this work a little bit nicer. Okay, so this needs to go, this will come down. Something like that. I think that'll, something about the top of this, I'm not happy with it. And so again, I encourage you guys, get yourselves happy with it. Okay, so I'm going to do this, flatten this off a little bit. There. I think that'll be better. All right. So now I'm going to come over here on this side, and before I go and do anything with this, I'm going to draw in another petal here. And I think I'll turn it over backwards. Or maybe I want to put it forward. Something like that. Oops. All right. Okay, so I really want to move this line over and curve this down a different way. Like that, and then this one, I think I will curve around. Let's see. I'll put my J on the back here. And I think I would like to thicken this width a little bit, so I'm going to bring this down here. And that's not going to be a big deal at all. So now, you do not have to do this, but I'm going to erase any stray lines here that might make me confused when it comes to the inking. I learned when I started doing Celtic knots that when you leave stray pencil lines and you haven't inked yet, it can be confusing. So that's just my way, but you do not have to do this. It's all going to get erased by the tangling, I think. So let's see what happens with this, okay? I just wanted you to get some practice. I just want you to get some practice with the folding and going underneath and all of that stuff. And I probably could add over here one more. And have it come down here. That should work. Okay? So whatever you want to do on yours, but set your tile up like this. Now for fun, today I'm going to work with my PN in brown and my 01 in brown, okay? They're a little bit of a different shade of brown, but they work well together, so I'm not going to worry about it. So the first thing I'm going to do then is draw in my basic lines. And I'm going to do that with my PN. I've got lint on it. I frequently get that sometimes with the PNs, that they get little pieces of lint up in there. So you want to get those out. So now I'm going to carefully try to draw in my ribbon lines. Okay. Let's try this one. Wow. Well, that turned out in a very interesting fashion, and that's all right. It is definitely going to be visually interesting, which sometimes is a better thing than perfect. Not always, and frequently, and not in my case, but we're going to hope for the best and not prejudge our results, as always. And sometimes I'm disappointed. Frequently I'm not. All right, just neaten up any extra spots you've got. Boy, that ribbon sort of got fat in the middle, didn't it? All right, let's draw in our last one, and then we can start tangling. Well, my ribbon widths are all over the place today, but that's why we're practicing. All right. So now I am going to work with my 01 in brown, assuming that I can put my hand on it again. And I'm going to tangle with that because since we're working in a smaller space today, it'll be easier, I think. So first, I'm going to think, what can I do to make this oval here interesting? So I think I'm going to divide this up. And as always on all of these, in fact, while I'm doing this, I'm just going to draw in my inner aura now so that I don't forget. Well, we are doing the shake, shake, shake today. So if you're shaking too, let's just have a party. We're going to see how the shaky turns out. Remember on your auras, if you get confused, just follow your outer line. Right? So just this middle part, and we'll be finished with this. So as we begin filling each of these sections with tangles, and as we have talked about, you can use the same one or different ones, or however you want to work this is going to be fine, okay? So what I'm going to do, and what I want you guys to do, is pick tangles that you think you're going to use in your final project, okay? And I want you to draw them in and see how they work for you, right? So I am going to mix up some of the new ones that we've learned with some of the ones that we did in the 100-day project, and I don't know what I'm going to end up with, so let's find out. Okay, I think I'll do Shattuck over here, but I think I'm going to do batten on this one. Now, we did that in the 100-day project, And I'll try to put links up for all of the tangles that I'm using. It starts similar. Maybe I don't want to use that. I just need to go back and forth, don't I? That's a little Shattucky. Let's just do Shattuck. I think it'll be easier on my poor brain. And I'm just going to do a single string so that it's not too work intense. The difference is when you work larger, then you have more opportunities for shading and embellishing and ways to make that dynamic. When you work smaller, it looks pretty densely packed, and it can be a very cool look, but it's a lot more work intense. It's much more brain intense as far as the thinking process goes. So it's really however you want to handle things. And frequently, when I'm working in small spaces, like we will be in here, then I prefer to work a little bit larger as opposed to smaller and more complex. But again, that's entirely up to you. And if you make strokes that you're not happy with, don't sweat it. Remember, once we get to the final product, none of that is going to matter to you very much. It's all going to be worked into one incredibly awesome package. And if there are little faux pas along the way, so much the better. It will teach us patience. And remember, no tile is worth throwing away. It's all about what you're learning from them. And when you keep them, when they've been tough, it teaches you something. All right. So next, I think I'm going to use my, what other tank? Oh, we used, let's do, what was the square grid one called that we did? Is it a Jessica Davies one? I'll think of it. I'll think of it. I remember how to do it. I just don't remember the name of it will come to me. Okay, and then you come back here. Let's see. Let's make this way. Okay. Oops. Got my own style thing going on here. We'll see what happens. Okay. And then we aura, which is not very hard. Although, for me, it's a different thing. What is this one called? It's gonna drive me nuts. All right, and now we aura, oops, I forgot to aura this part. Now we aura the top, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I like the way this looks. Even if I can't remember the name, I like it. I think I decided to ink these in up here. Oops. And okay, so that's a good start on that. Do I want to add more R lines on the bottom? Maybe. Probably. And then I think in the bottom I'm going to do something completely different this time and see what happens. I'm going to use these little downward hatch lines or vertical hatch lines. See what happens. I'm going to match these to that dividing line for the square grid. I kind of like how that turns out. That means I don't have to draw any more R lines. Yay! Because I'm bad at them. I am being very negative today. I need to stop that. Okay, I really like how that turned out. Let's do it on the rest. I'm going to put a slight curve in that since it looked like the ribbon was curved, and this line is also curved. So my square is going to be somewhere in here. So it's going to end somewhere here. And then that'll be a partial square, which will end halfway in here. So halfway out here. And we'll just do it like that. There won't be much of the pattern happening in here, but we'll give it a try. Okay, and I'm going to turn this upside down, and I'm going to do my, oh yeah, nope. Now I know. Down and out, down and out, down and out. It's out, down and out. All right, and now Ara. Okay, I'll turn it upside down, or the above part. All right. And let's see, I think I'll do these the same. So one more aura down below. And we'll do the hatch lines. And again, this is why you want the tangles you use to be simple enough for you to be able to do in these types of situations so you don't get confused, right? Okay. So now let me ink in here on the upper side. And I am doing my best to be in the shaky club today, and I'm succeeding, so yay me. It's a club I don't like being in, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do, and I'm not gonna stop drawing. I'm not gonna let it stop me. So if my lines are shaky, that's gonna be okay with me. Hopefully I will still end up with something I like. That happens more than you would think. Enough to the point where when it doesn't turn out right, it's really frustrating for me. So keep practicing. It's going to get better. Remember, drawing is muscle memory, so keep drawing, no matter how bad you think it is. And trust me, I've had some years in drawing that were not good. But drawing is like learning any other skill. It takes time, it takes practice, it takes dedication, it takes passion. But if you do give it all of those things, it will give you back something good too. All right, let me put in my hatch lines, my vertical hatch lines, or horizontal in the case of the way I'm drawing them right now. That might be a little bit easier for me, I don't know. I don't know why the shaking is so bad right now, but I'm just going to cope with it the best I can. Keep my chin up, try to stay positive instead of being my normal negative Nelly. We don't need her around today. All right, so now I just need to do the back side. And so my top, so let's divide this first. Let's do a square like this. And so it's going to go from, let's see, as it turns around, it will go up like this. Okay, then we aura. And there's not much room to aura on the top, is there? Okay, so that's our most complex one to draw, so I'm pleased with the way that came out. All right, let's move on to the next one. So I think on this one I'm going to do, I think I'll do Flux on this one. You guys have seen me do this over and over and over, so I'm not going to explain it. This is a pattern called Flux. This is Rick Roberts' version in the 100-Day Project playlist, or on my Tangle Pattern Step Out playlist. They both have that video in them, the Flux video. And we explore both Maria's version and Rick's version in that. I'll try to remember to put the link up here for you. Not feeling really well today, so I may cut this a bit short. But I wanted to make sure we don't fall behind. So I am really ready to get drawing on our final project. I'm really excited. Okay. And I have no doubt I will be speeding this up. Okay, notice that as I got to the top of this, I'm keeping my flux directionality moving in the same direction. So as these go up, now they're going to be coming down from here. And then when you get here, you're going to go back up again. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's going to be pretty busy. Okay, so over here, I'm going to do a tangle called Tripoli, I believe. And it's based with triangles. And I'm going to need to make bigger than that. And so what you want to do on this is kind of aura the line of the triangle that you just made, and then start your next triangle from there, kind of a thing. Let's see if I can do this a little bit better here. Okay, and then coming back from the top, you just start like that. Okay, and I think I'll just let that one go off the edge. And then the fill for this is going to be one of the standard ones that they do with this. Is just those this fill. The one with the little tiny orb in the middle. Sort of an oval or a curved line. And then you tuck a little orb in there. Okay. Now the way I'm going to handle this, I think, is I'm going to use some channel grid type of things where, let's see, I think I'll put some orbs. And then I'll make another one. I'll put some printemps in here. Like this, and maybe okay, a little bit more. Sorry guys, I'm starting to not feel very well, so I'm trying to hurry and finish this, and I don't know exactly how much editing I'm going to be able to manage for you, but hopefully we have done enough to where you will get the idea and be able to come up with your own things. You can repeat the elements on this or just do different things each time. Sort of like those patterns you used to figure out in kindergarten. Okay, I've got to stop now. This is where I'm going to stop today. For shading, the same way that we have always done it, of course, in these little folds, you always want to put some nice dark shading anywhere where there's overlapping, and of course you're going to want to shade around all of these areas too. I am sorry I'm cutting this short today, but okay, for next time, be sure you've got your paper ready that you want to do your final project on, and we're going to pencil in our flower. All right, so I'll see you next time, and I can't wait to see what you guys have done. Keep posting your art on Instagram and tagging me, and I'll see you there. Thanks, guys.